Alrighty, I am live. And let me just get the minor little things kind of in order, or at least try to get them in order. So, okay, there's that, that's okay. That can get out of my life. This can do this. I don't care. That out of the way. Okay, that's fine. Okay, alrighty then. Hello, Kayla. Let's see here. Okay. So I'm going to give it a little bit for people to come flocking in, as they usually do. Hello, Nadia. Hello, Fiona. So, before I start the video, just wanted to let y'all know that this video is going to be, well, not too different, but it's going to be slightly different than how I usually do my videos. This one's actually going to be both a combination of pretty much kind of analyzing and as well as kind of a somewhat of a reaction at the same time, because this one hello Miriam. There's this one video that I saw about a few hours ago. Like when I watched it, I'm thinking, okay, here we go again. Here comes some of the stereotypical, like, oh well, this Jezebel spirit is really it's only out to get you. It's a baneful energy and all that. Well, again, keep in mind that's coming from a biased standpoint instead of a neutral one that's not either left or right. It's just looking at it exactly how it is. But other than that, yes, as you read the title, the being or Queen Jezebel is, and hello, Laura. The Queen Jezebel is actually a very potent Lilithian figure. And before somebody says, but isn't she known to be like an insult to a woman? Like if you really want to call her something nasty. And if anything, in the biblical writings, she's actually painted out to be this horrible being, yet in all reality, just like how the biblical things were written, whenever a woman got into power or authority, always the kings or the men in power or religious power were by default automatically threatened, because they knew, crap, we can't control her. So what do? They try and defame her. They try and make her name get tarnished. And then, hello, Lisa. And they do that by any means possible. Jezebel is the same thing. So, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be watching the video I saw a little bit of a few hours ago, let it play in the background, and now I'm going to pause it like within like a certain intervals. And yeah, we're going to dissect this all together. So let's go on a magical trip to hopefully not facepalm land, and hopefully I will not have a big bruise on my forehead after face palming so hard. So let's take a looky look, and then after this video we'll be watching another one by the same person afterwards. So okay, let's see if I can find this bloody thing. Okay, here to go. So, and even though there's another giggly thing too. I found this thing also. This is just designed. Just go with it. Deal with it. I found. Yeah. And usually they dislike her only because, well, I mean, then again, it's biased. and it's not even giving her a chance to even look from her perspective. Why does she act that way? Or even better yet, her using makeup, how's that a bad thing? What's wrong with a woman wanting to make herself appear differently? What's wrong with her doing artistic expression by pretty much applying her art to her face? What's wrong with her wanting to express herself like that? Oh, wait a minute. There isn't anything wrong with it. So what? They have the right to. But anyway, I saw this thing down at like Dollar General. I know, like, oh wow, you bought basics now, and it's a jade, and it is actually really jade because I can feel it. And I decided, I'll give this thing a shot. Put some magical oil in it and go with it. Results, well, we'll see what happens with this thing. Is it really a beauty roller, or is it really a rolling me stupid? I had to come up with something. So anyway, so let's let's take a look at this analyze thing, and I'm gonna be. And he also puts biblical verses too, and I mean, trying to source what he's saying, but the way he says it too is kind of a little bit meh. But going at this non-bias, not favoring either side, just right down the middle, just looking at it for how it is. So before even starting, there's one reference to Revelation 2:20. Okay, it says, "Notwithstanding." That's not even a. That's I don't think is that even a real word, like legitimate word, meaning that is it actually like seen as a word commonly? Because notwithstanding, I think that would be like three different words. But anyway, I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel. That suffereth that woman. Sufferest. So by have a few things. So the writer has a few things against another person because they suffered by Jezebel, which called herself a prophetess. Okay. To teach and seduce my servants to commit fornication and to eat things sacrificed unto idols. To teach and seduce my servants to commit fornication. Teach and to seduce, and to eat things sacrificed unto idols. Well, if somebody, well, I don't think, as far as I know, I don't think Jezebel really considered herself like a guru figure based on my recollection. Somebody could correct me wrong with that. As far as I know, I did know that she did have a belief with Baal, so I have to give that one. But I don't think she was just like over the top overkill, based on what I remember. I could be wrong again. And to eat things sacrificed unto idols. Well, mm, mm, I don't. That sounds a little bit too like symbolically confuzzled. Because most of these things that are written anyway, you have to look at it from a symbolic standpoint. And to idols, well, the thing about an idol, though, by technicality, anything that represents something else, like here, I'll even give you a good example. By technicality, if you want to be technical, this is an idol. That's an idol. Even though it's not a statue, it's still an idol. An idol is any kind of representation of a being. It's kind of like sympathetic magic in a way. So an idol is essentially the embodiment of a being that somebody or a group of people acknowledges as that being. The one that I just lifted, yeah. Here, I'll show you her again. I'll show you her one more time. Where? This one? Yes. This is actually my first. This is my first ever piece of digital art. and it's called The Emergence of the Shadow Mistress. And yes, it is a piece dedicated to Lilith, and it's my first one. And yes, if you want a print of it, if you go down below, you should be able to follow the links to, I believe, a Teespring will have it up there as a canvas print and a poster, if you would like it. But anyway, so now let's hear what he has to say. Now keep in mind, this is from the perspective I'm going to be looking at and listening from, is completely neutral, meaning that I'm not going to be all, oh, I completely right with him, like I side with him, and also not going to be over on the other side all the way, right in the middle. So let's hear what has to be said. Let us begin. Okay. And the dogs shall eat Jezebel in the wait. And the dogs shall eat Jezebel in the portion of Jezreel. And there shall be none to bury her. And he opened the door and fled. And there shall be none to bury her. Well, for one thing. And the dogs shall eat her in Jezreel. Well, the first thing, as this supposed myth of Jezebel passing, as it went, is that I believe she was thrown out the window and she fell, and supposedly dogs came and started eating her. But keep in mind, again, from when Lilith actually left the Garden of Eden and began wandering on her own, and when she returned to, give Adam and Eve the sin virus, and after taking out Adam, for that matter, she then actually wandered the world again and to actually pretty much adapt to the area around her. So one of the ways that she adapted was, again, Jezebel. That's one of them. Another one, if you want to go over to over to China, Korea, and maybe even a little bit, maybe even consider Japan too, you can even see Daji as Lilith as well. Same as Spider Woman from the American Native, Hell from the Norse belief system. You maybe could even also say Oya, possibly, from the Yoruba. At least I would say. If I said that wrong, you can hit me with a stick. From Greece, Greek, you can even see, Persephone is one. You can see Aphrodite is one. You could even say Melone is one. I mean, however the world changed, so did Lilith's adaptation. Pretty much she adapted to whatever the world deemed beautiful in that region and irresistible. In this case, with where I believe this would be in Jezreel, which is, I think, pretty much around Israel and all those Middle Eastern places are. There, Jezebel was one of those figures that she took form in. Same with the what was that queen? Queen, pretty much the one that one queen that was that pretty much kind of was a little bit rude and kind of a little bit disgustedly treated by King Solomon, that I can't remember her name, Queen of Sheba, I think that's what it is. What her thing was? I think that's what her title was, but that's another incarnation of Lilith, for an example. But the thing is, and there shall be none to bury her. Well, now Sheba. Thank you, Jabril. The thing is, if there is nobody to bury a being, supposedly, like if she did get killed by being mauled to death by Poochies, as a human person who doesn't get laid to rest, they become earthbound. They become, let's just say, an tranquil spirit, an earthbound spirit, or pretty much passed on that is lost and earthbound, as for an example. But anyway, and I'm gonna just let this thing now play.
Destroy God's prophets, destroy God's leaders, and through that she was able to rule over Israel through her husband.
But there was none like unto Ahab, which did sell himself to work wickedness in the sight of the Lord, whom Jezebel and his wife stirred up. Whom Jezebel his wife stirred up. Now here's the thing. If everybody remembers, and I say this frequently, who is the most powerful between the king and the queen? It's the queen. Does the king tell the queen no if she wants something? No. So, if Jezebel is supposed to be deemed as wicked, well, thing is, she's actually taking a stand for her faith to Baal, which, if you're devoted to a divine being, Baal counts. He's a divine being, whether they like it or not, it is. She's taking a stand for her faith and her belief. How's that bad? Oh, wait, it's not bad. Because that shows your devotion and commitment to something. It's not bad. I mean, I do the same thing too. If I had to fight for hell, HEL, my hell, I do the same thing. Take a stand and do whatever I have to do to keep her standing. Because that's what you're supposed to do in your faith. But anyway, speak.
Her husband was weak. Doesn't that sound like today?
Right.
From Ahab in the Bible, and she used her beauty, she used her lust to seduce men, to destroy God's prophets, to destroy God's leaders, and through that she was able to rule over Israel through her husband because her husband was weak. Doesn't that sound like today? Ahab's and Jezebel's woman ruling over men.
Thanks, Lisa. Women rolling and ruling over men. Well, here's the thing. I mean, I hate to break it to you, Lovey, but most of the time I see instances where, and I've met a lot of women who are abused, traumatized, and are just completely destroyed mentally, emotionally, and even are suffering because of the hands of men who are just pitiful. And actually, yes, the men nowadays that are doing that to women, they are weak. You know why? Because they don't have any self-control. And if a woman is taking a stand for herself against that, that's what, she should do. And pretty much abiding by what Queen Jezebel wanted. What the?
Here's the thing with.
All right, here's the thing. I don't give a bloody dang about you. The thing is, where'd it go? I pressed the wrong button. I gotta go back there. Okay, here we go. Okay, now where was I? So what's his face? Ahab was weak and actually just pretty much carrying out the wants and wishes of his queen. That's naturally like what happens with a monarchy. The queen gives the orders, makes the rules, gives the commands. The king enforces them. That's how it is. The king's not weak. He's doing what it's naturally done. It's not weak. It's just going based on how it's usually always done. Because the king actually has someone to submit to, the queen. The queen doesn't submit to anybody. She doesn't. It may look like the queen is under the king, but the queen is the one that has the strings attached to the king. And she says, make them dance. And then she gives the order to the king, and now everybody dances. If the king tells her no, well, it's not going to be a good night for him, or even a good time for him for some time. That's just how it is. Well, now.
It's a trait of a narcissist. Or less. Man not having the spiritual strength to lead, so the woman takes over. Isn't that happening today in America? So let's go. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the science people.
Well, the thing is, Well, I mean, men, I mean, most of the time they were given the chance to lead, but most of the time it's been, sorry, it's just what happened. And I'm not being sexist or anything, but I mean, that's just the truth. When you, if something is saying that women cannot be in power, cannot lead, and cannot be in an authoritative position, can we stop thinking like that? That's so outdated. Like, can we get a little bit more modern place? Because the thing is, in order to have an effective, even effective and balanced on, like even for example at a workforce place, in a work team of work at a place of employment, you need to have both. And you also do need to have other perspectives. And if you just have a perspective of men, yeah, it's not going to be able to be adaptive. Just as an example.
Bodies, guys. It's a trait of a narcissist, right? So a guy could be a Jezebel and a girl could be a Jezebel spirit. So, but mostly girls, and most guys today have the Ahab spirit, allowing Jezebel to not only destroy their life but destroy things around them.
Here's the bloody thing. So the thing is, Jezebel herself, I mean, she knew what she wanted, and she strategized and thought of ways how to get it. And she did not stop until she got it. That's being an opportunist. That's strategizing. Even though that's by technicality, that's a very masculine trait. So what? In fact, Jezebel probably, if not, is one of the very first women known to actually be able to embody and put out both the masculine and feminine energies at the same time. Because you have a queen, royalty, and you have initiative, you have strategizing, you have planning, you have aggressive action, which is doing things to strike fear and terror. That's masculine. But also with the feminine, being able to put on, like, say, cosmetics and to be very subtle and using seduction. But the way that, they're used saying seduction is being suggestive and vulgar and being like, I can't even say the word, but you know what I mean. But real seduction is actually being able to toy with the mind and pretty much have them go and do a certain thing and make them not be able to think properly.
Number one is, this is a key. Expect.
Right. Then here's the next one. For it was so when Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord, that Abba took an 100 prophets and hid them by 50 in a cave and fed them with bread and water. Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord. Okay. Cut off the prophets. Okay, so pretty much she, again, keep in mind, she's the queen. She's the queen. And usually when it comes to a monarchy and a state like that, the king and the queen have authority over the religion and pretty much the kingdom that they're ruling in. So if she's cutting off those who are trying to bring in a different faith in and make a threat to the belief system, she has kind of the power and the right to do that because it's her kingdom. And also Apex or whatever his name is. So she can do that. It's her kingdom. She's the one that has the crown. So I don't understand what the issue is. If she's the one in power, she has the authority to make the call. If something poses a threat to the kingdom, if she deems it a threat, she makes the call. That's the point.
To me being God's leader, one of God's leader, okay, one of the chosen, they hate God's leaders, and she lusts to destroy you.
Well, the thing is, if we're going to be really technical, as a Lilithian figure, Jezebel probably doesn't really give any kind of doesn't really give much of energy to give like a oh you're with him, huh? Okay. She's not gonna be like over pretty much be like possessed by destruction to actually go and eradicate people that are of that and lust to destroy you. Well, again, look at it this way: a queen. Do you think a queen is going to be armed and lust and pretty much being empowered to literally eradicate someone? No, that's what the soldiers are for. If anything, the most that the queen can do is pretty much give the order. Guards come in and start swinging.
Also, he uses the man of God, the man who's on that righteous path, the man who God anointed, the man who God chose. Jezebel's going to be your enemy.
So you're making a Lilithian figure your enemy, when clearly the thing is again.
Okay, and like I said, she lusts to destroy. You notice how if you're a man of God, right? You got to understand. Some of you all could relate to this. You have a woman coming your way, not because she likes
Again with this, hit the wrong button because now it's like, oh, you want me to go to the next video? No, you dimwit.
Mexico. It's 2:20.
You're in where? Okay, that's cute. I don't care. It's Scoochie the Tushy. And I'm also not looking at the chat either, so that way I can kind of get through this quick. You know where we're. Okay, now. And then there's something from Acts saying, but ye shall receive power after that the Holy Ghost is upon you. Okay. Shall be witness unto me in Jerusalem and Judea, Samaria, and unto, okay, whatever, I don't care.
She likes you because you're cute. You know, you think you're cute. No, it's not because you're cute. It's because she's lusting after your spiritual strength, your spiritual power.
Again, here we go again. Let's take it from the top. Jezebel, a Lilithian figure. A figure that's Lilithian, has the energy of Lilith. Do you think Lilith wants anybody's power? No. Yes, you can. You know, I have my own. Thank you very much. I don't need yours. And trust me, if I was to take yours, I'd get sick.
Because Jezebel desires that type of power. Now, Jezebel has power, but it's demonic.
No. Well, again, why would there be any desire for power of something that pretty much advocated rape of a woman? Oops, I forgot that slipped. I'm sorry. I don't think that energy. Well, that energy, because I don't know about you. If you want something like that, creeper.
Okay, the power you have is the Holy Spirit, and then you shall receive the Holy Spirit, and power shall come upon you. Acts chapter 1, verse 8. Whoa, okay, so once you have
Oh, okay.
power in you, she lusts after that because she has what you don't have, and she.
Wait. Why would I? Okay. Why would I lust for the power that mistreated me? Why would I lust for anything that belongs to the one who disrespected me? Why would I want anything to do with him? Oh, wait, I don't. No.
Jealous and envious traits of the devil. Okay,
One, why am I going to be envious of that? Two, jealous? Jealous of what? not having a crusty beard, and not being able to take no for an answer. That's not something I would lust after. In fact, that's like, wow, okay. You're how old and you still haven't got it? Okay.
These demonic spirits is all links to Satan. Okay, so she.
Oh, the demonic? Oh, like I haven't heard that one before. Oh, here we go again, demonic. Oh boy. Can we have something original, please? I'm tired of this crap.
Jezebel's spirit, she hates God's leaders. She falsely accuses them. Okay, she
Falsely accuses them of what? Tell me, what am I accusing you of that's, false? Tell me, what is it?
desires and like lust after to destroy them. That's what she lusts after. So she,
Lust to destroy? No. No, 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 no. In fact, the only lust that I have is to want to get away from this.
could falsely accuse you, slander, gossip.
Falsely accuse? Again, what of what? What can I possibly falsely accuse you of? And I mean, there's quite a list, but you tell me.
She could do whatever in her power. That's a Jezebel spirit. All right, so guys, be very cautious on these spirits, man. Number one, and this is not an order to, by the way, but this is one thing I noticed about Jezebel spirits. One thing I learned on this narrow path. It's always they always hate God's leaders. Okay, because God's leaders is man, we speak the truth.
No. Can we hear that one more time for the people in the back to hear that, and hopefully they'll bust up laughing.
An order to, by the way, but this is one thing I noticed about Jezebel spirits. One thing I learned on this narrow path is they always hate God's leaders. Okay, because God's leaders as man, we speak the truth, and that's offensive to this.
We're man, we speak the truth. And I'm straight. What about the part where, Yahweh thinking it's okay to pretty much demand a woman be violated? You guys don't mention that. You could try and cover it up. What about the part when, Adam got taken out by Lilith because, vengeance? But, you didn't want that in the Bible because the last thing you wanted to have is any kind of inclination that the first man got taken out by the first lady. Oops. Oh well, it happens. Prophets in the Bible were persecuted because they were not afraid to preach against sin. They were persecuted because they were not loved by the world. You know who else is not loved by the world? Occultists, witches, Satanists. They're being pretty much persecuted. So don't play the victim. I just had to, I'm sorry.
I think it's offensive in this society, guys, but sin. Isn't that crazy? People are offensive to everything, but when it comes to when God says certain sins, people are not offensive to that. It's crazy.
Something seriously wrong when the world is offended by everything but sin. Joke's on you, sin's an opinion. That's why, it can be a variable. It's an opinion. Oh, and by the way, offensive? Well, the thing is, when you insult a woman and call her, or I don't know, let's say a harlot, or, you insult her by calling her wicked, that's kind of offensive. Why are you insulting her like that? What's your point? Oh, you're just insulting her because she has makeup on? Wow, okay. So it's kind of offensive not allowing a woman to be herself and allowing her to express herself with her form of art, which involves makeup, cosmetics. That's an art style. You don't like it? Deal with it. Woohoo! Resume then.
So number two.
Hold on. Okay, I'm going to take a look at the chat now. Whoa! Hello. Okay, hello, Rusty. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm looking at the chart now. Hello, Adam. I'm watching Seventh Sign, Somebody's Possessed by Jezebel. Hello, Food. I don't even know this guy's name. But here's the next one. Hello, Mika. Seeks to control, influence, dominate men. Well, the thing is, Usually, if a woman's allowed to just be herself and flow, like the creative expression, and just be how she naturally is, she won't have to do anything to control, influence, or dominate man. If she's allowed to express herself and be in her natural state, she doesn't have to do that. But now, when she's being forced in a direction, being forced a certain way, like, woman, you must go this way. Oh, no, 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 no. She's going to flip and think, no. And even though that is by technicality, yes, that is a bit of a masculine trait to stand up and fight and push back. That's not the main objective. She doesn't seek to control a man. She seeks to be able to express herself and be able to be herself. But if she has to, she'll do what she has to do to gain the upper hand to keep, him in check and to protect herself. Next. Right. And when Jehu, Jehu, and when Le Jehu was come to Israel, Jezebel heard of it, and she painted her face and tired her head and looked out a window. When Jehu came to Jezreel, Jezebel heard. She painted her face. She put on makeup. Okay, what's the issue with that? And tied her head. So you mean to tell me, and tied her head? By tying the head, do you mean like tied her hair, or even heck, just something like this? I put something over her head like this. What do you mean tied her head? Tied her head. Come on, that's some done good English, I have to say. And looked out a window. Because now saying tied her head, meaning that she tied a rope around her head and stuck her head out the window. I kind of really don't think. I don't think a queen would tie something around her head and stick her head out the window. If anything, if she put on her makeup, that I can see. But her putting makeup on, what's the issue? It's art. Let her do it.
And how she does that? Through her beauty.
I'm gonna. Let's see here. Let me use his word choice. I'm gonna control, influence, and dominate men by my beauty. Well, if you want to be technical, wouldn't they already be doing that naturally? Because women naturally just have that already. Yeah, God, not the beauty, but the thing is, it's always there. Beauty for woman is natural because it's just part of the feminine energy. It's natural, and if a woman wants to add or change how she naturally is for the beauty, she can. It's art, and art's always beautiful. So, and the thing is, if a man gets pretty much, you know, influenced immensely by the makeup and actually allows it to allow him to be coerced, well, in a way, he's not strong enough to actually resist it.
What did Jezebel do in the Bible? Because in the Bible, Jezebel is the only one mentioned that she painted her face, which means she put makeup on.
So, actually, by technicality, I think wasn't it Azazel? I think, if I'm right, I could be wrong though. I'm trying to remember which divine being actually taught mankind about makeup. And think about the biblical things. A lot of things were added, taken away, and the things that were added and kept and removed, they were all planned. So nice try.
So she put makeup on her face to manipulate man.
Well, I don't think I've ever. Well, I mean, then again, you got to keep in mind she's probably really magic. She probably did magic and occult stuff too, so that fits. So presume.
I understand that us real men, we like a woman who's natural.
Here's the thing. If you're like a woman that's natural, okay, here's your challenge then. If you want a natural woman, you step back, you allow her to be herself. You do not even question it. You do not down her. You do not say anything on how she expresses herself. If she wants to put makeup on, if she wants to put cosmetics on her face, if she wants to even have something like a roll on, if she wants to do this, you keep your mouth shut. You do not say a word. You know why? Because she's being natural. She's doing what she wants to do. She's doing what she wants to do to preserve her beauty, her skin, and her skin health. And she's doing what's natural for her. You do not get in the way of that. Yep. Yeah. And the thing is, if you want natural, again, allow her to be herself. Don't get in the way. Do not get in the way. In fact, if you want to get even some more bonus points, and I mean, this is like, to me, it's kind of like common sense. If you want to actually make her actually respond in a way that's like, it makes her actually feel appreciated for all the hard work she puts in for her appearance. I mean, this is none of my business, but what do I know? If you were to, excuse me, if you were to compliment her whenever she has spent a long time putting herself together in the morning or even at any time, if you notice that and if you tell her how great of a job she did or how flawless she looks, and you know she takes a while, I can guarantee you that's going to be a huge, huge, big plus for you. And it's so simple to do. You just got to appreciate the time, the effort, and the attention to detail. It takes no more than 5 seconds. Because if you do that, I can guarantee you, easiest way to improve it. But anyway, resume.
The woman who doesn't have to put on makeup, yeah, you might not be as cute or, to other people, to other men, but I like the woman who's natural because I'm natural. I don't got to put on artificial things. You might not be the prettiest thing, but it's all about your soul and your spirit.
Well, here's the thing. The soul, the spirit, I hate to be the one a bearer of bad news and kind of, pop this bubble. The soul, the spirit, all of them, yours and mine, everybody's, is the exact same. Huh? I'll say it one more time. The spirit, the soul, is identical and the exact same for everybody. How can that be? Everything is of the void, the source. All is Vishnu. Everything is a Vishnu. All is Vishnu, as an example. So, of Vishnu, every little thing that's, able to be acknowledged, experienced, and seen and interacted with, which is every person, animal, and whatnot, it all has a little fragment of the one. And the soul is that fragment. So, trying to say that it all comes down to the beauty of the soul, well, by technicality, you're now saying that the beauty comes within, which is the same as what you got. You don't say. But now here's the thing: the mind, which is also the moon, and the physical body. Well, the mind is the one that has the most control. The body is the thing that interacts on the 3D plane. The soul just sits there like, why am I going this way? How come this is going this way? Because the mind's in control of the physical body. If the mind says put on makeup, and pretty much the mind has that full power over it, mind says put on makeup. Makeup gets put on. If the mind says go grab ice cream, goes grab ice cream. Mind's like a monkey, but still. Trying to say that the soul is the most important thing and is the thing that is really the source of beauty. Well, but it's the same kind of beauty that you're talking about for yourself too, because the fragment is always the same. But resume.
Okay, if you have this tyranny, that's nasty. And see, these Jezebels, if you're a carnal, low vibrational man, if you're not spiritual, you're gonna be attracted to these Jezebels because what they have.
Okay, now they have. Now here's another thing. To keep thee from the evil woman. The evil woman. Okay. So now you're pretty much saying to keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. So if a woman compliments you with flattery, she's evil and strange? Wow, it looks like somebody can't take a compliment. Because it's like you're not even taking a compliment. What? So you mean to tell me that a woman is evil for complimenting someone? No. Woman compliments? Hey, well, I mean, she's able to see the beauty in it. You're just refusing to acknowledge the beauty of yourself. But hey, she's actually able to see it, even though you can't. So rip. Oops. Lust not after her beauty in thine heart. Well, here's the thing. Lust not. Well, the thing is, the word lust. Another word for lust can actually be inspired with great zest. And lusting after something means that most of your energetic push and energetic focus and what you're striving for becomes the focus. If you're lusting after something, you're strongly pursuing and going after something. If you want to take it the vulgar way, you can, but still. Do not pursue her of her beauty in the heart. Well, the thing is, if there is a longing for something of the heart, and you're trying to pursue something that's beautiful because you want to pretty much admire it, that's not bad. Neither let her take thee with her eyelids. Neither let her take thee with her eyelids. So you mean to tell me her eyelids and her eyelashes become weaponized or something? So meaning that you are saying that let her have her eyelids become like blades, and now she pretty much blinks and blades come out of her eyes. Okay, wow. Now this is starting to become like really funky, dunky, freaky, deaky, kind of a psychedelic trip based on how it's written. It's like okay, for by the means of a I can't say this word. I'm sorry. By the means of a ish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. For means of a man, for a means of a I really don't understand what that's trying to say, but if you're calling a woman that, and heck, if she has to be doing that in order to survive, you don't really have much room to actually, judge and put her down because here's the thing. She's trying to survive. If somebody's gonna look down on that, okay, well, we'll find something to look down upon them too. But anyway, resume, dude.
They have the filters, they have the makeup, they have the eyeliners. Let's not after her beauty. Let's not after our eyebrows. I'll do that verse right here. So they have all this type of things, and it makes men who are slaves to lust, men who can't stop watching the websites, men who can't stop fapping, the men who just can't get on the 8 apps to just fornicate here and there, here and there. Okay, Jezebel can use those men, can control those men.
Gee, I've heard a lot of dumb things in my life, but I don't think I've ever heard of a woman, controlling a man, to aim, point at something and then fire. I don't even think I've ever heard of a woman say, you, point it, shoot it. I have never heard of that. I have never heard, seen, or even encountered a woman, pointing at a man and say, "You go point at this, aim, fire." I have never heard of that, and I'm trying so hard not to laugh because the thing is, why would why? And besides, if you're not allowing your body to do what it naturally wants to do, which is that urge to, you know, fire, metaphorically speaking, here's the thing. When you go against nature, nature's going to win, no matter what the circumstances. By nature, that's what's it's trying to do. You fight nature, nature's going to beat you every time. Don't fight nature. Do not fight it, because you will lose every time. It may not be at the correct moment, but give it some time. You'll be taken down by it. Flee fornication, everything. Okay.
Okay, so she uses her beauty to desire to destroy you. And yes, Jezebel was the only one mentioned in the Bible who painted her face, who put on makeup. Okay, she did that to deceive men. Her beauty, and like I said, a lot of men are Adams. A lot of
Yeah. Oh, the irony is just so grand. A lot of men are Adams. Well, yep, he got that. Got that one right.
men are weak. Okay, and a lot of men, you might be saying, well, Mark, everyone's Adam. Well, those who are born again are now under Christ.
Well, the thing is, you only get born once. I understand the analogy, yes. But in order to be born again, you're going to have to find a way to get back in and fit. And then come back out again. I'm sorry. Not of corruptible seed. Well, I don't know how to tear this cupcake. I hate to break it to you, but if you're a human being, no matter who you are, you're infected with the sin virus. And that's genetics. When Adam and Eve had the chomp of the fruit, the sin virus was infected to them. So no human being, that includes even Our Lady Mary, she's infected with it too. What happens when a woman who's carrying a child with a disease? The child gets it too. No fans, butts, or tushies. You try to stand up against that, you're defying genetics. You're defying nature again. What happens when you go against nature? Nature's going to beat you every time. Don't fight it. Resume.
But you haven't been born again, you're still under Adam. You allow a woman to control you, woman to use you and abuse you, and you don't care. Okay, you must.
Allow a woman to use you, abuse you, control you. Well, you're sure? Because whenever I hear times of domestic violence, it's usually the woman always being abused. There are some circumstances where it's not like that, it's the other way around. But mainly it's the men.
Be born again. Woo!
Be born again? Okay, good luck trying to find your way back in. Don't get stuck.
Okay, so that's what she does, guys. She seeks to control, influence, plant seeds in your mind. What did Jezebel do, guys? She wanted to kill God's prophets in the book of.
Well, again, she wanted to kill them because they were a threat to her kingdom's religious, standing. They were a threat to her kingdom's faith. What else would you do if, someone threatened your people's and your kingdom's faith system? You don't want to kill the threat. That's common sense.
Kings. Okay, and how did she do that? She influenced the people in Israel back in those days to try to influence them to kill God's prophets. They had to hide from Jezebel. That's how much power she had. I know.
They had a, well, God. This makes me just want to get so giggly. It's crazy. Give not thy strength unto women. Now, why would you think that should not be done, giving them any power? What's wrong with that? What are you scared? What are you afraid of? Why are you afraid of a woman? Are you what? Are you afraid that if you give her power, she's just gonna look at you and say, "No, you don't can't control me," and then you're like, "Crap! Now we can't have our mating seasons." God forbid that happens. God forbid you got to use your hand. God forbid. But still,
All these damn sins, they were all just worshiping her.
worshiping. Well, I wouldn't say worshiping. Probably they were acknowledging her beauty, and I don't know. Probably even heck, appreciating her taking initiative to defend the faith of her kingdom and her people, because it's an incoming threat. Just saying.
In Jezebel's spirit, understand that she influenced other men to try to kill God's prophets. Elijah had to hide. Elijah wasn't afraid of Jezebel. He wasn't afraid of the prophets of Baal. All right, so understand
Right.
that. Jezebel's spirit, understand that she influenced other men to try to kill God's prophets. Elijah had to hide.
Elijah had to hide.
Elijah wasn't afraid of Jezebel.
Elijah had to hide, but he wasn't afraid of her. If that's the case, then why didn't he? Why did he hide if he was not afraid of her?
He wasn't afraid of the prophets of Baal.
Wasn't afraid, but yeah, he had to hide. Okay.
All right, so understand that.
Hypocritical.
Well, this is deep. I've been dealing with Jezebels for a long time.
Oh, you have? Because you clearly don't even know how to even treat a woman based on how you're talking to.
She's defensive when confronted about her own sin and rebellion.
Defensive? Well, the thing is, when you're trying to take over her faith and her kingdom and the kingdom's background and the religious background and the faith, well, what would you do if somebody was waltzing in saying, "You're going to be leaving in this faith"? Don't you think you'd get defensive too? I mean, that's none of my business, but I would. And defensive about sin again. Sin, opinionated. Next, rebellion. If she's rebelling against something, I mean, look at Lilith. She rebelled in a dignified way. You better submit to Adam, or what are you gonna do, old man? I think some of that crusty beard is starting to get to your head. I'm not gonna submit to this. She's rebelling because she's not gonna allow some twathead to violate her. That's the point. That's the point. She's not rebelling just because, oh, I'm going to be rebellious because I can. No, she's trying to be forced in a certain direction. Whoops. She's trying to be forced in a certain direction that she doesn't want to go. And she's already said no. So if she said no, no means no. So she's not doing it. Nope, not doing it. And also, anything disrespecting her, yeah, I don't think she's gonna. I don't think she's gonna stand for that. That's not my business. What do I know? Next.
Really defensive, and she makes us feel like you're the evil person. You're the bad person because you're calling her out on her BS.
Are you sure? Because here's the thing: who's the one that kind of like stormed her kingdom and tried to take over it? You guys did. So it's now you're pretty much blaming her for defending herself, and now you're calling her the problem. Yes, she's defending herself. Typical narcissistic move. Typical. So predictable. And then I mean, wow. Come on now.
And now you're the bad person. No, don't fall for guys.
No, no, actually, yeah, it is correct. They are.
That's another form of manipulation.
Oh, well, oh, wait a minute. Ooh, wait a minute. So now you're saying that that's manipulation, but yet now you're using that against her as the victim, and now you're manipulating her feelings back to herself, saying that she's the problem for being defensive and defending herself. And now you're calling her manipulative and narcissistic. Aha! Gotcha. Ain't that slick?
Well, if you ever see me in sin and rebellion, call me out. I'm a man.
Okay. If you want that to happen, sure. Okay, so Cupcake, you need to have, how to treat a lady for dummies 101.
Like, I'm gonna thank you. The Bible even says if you correct a wise man, he will love you. If you correct a fool, they will hate you. I'll leave it right here, Proverbs chapter 9. Or yeah, I think it's Proverbs chapter 9. I'll leave the verse right here.
Okay.
Okay. Make sure I leave some space because I know sometimes I be cutting on my foot. Anyways. Okay. So she's defensive when it comes out her own sin of rebellion. Guys, if you're in a relationship, or guys or girls, if you're in a relationship with a Jezebel spirit,
Okay. Let's say, for example, I am connected with one.
You gotta leave now.
Or what? I mean, what bad can go wrong? I mean, what bad can go wrong? I mean, hey, at least, she's strong enough to take a stand for herself and not submit and fight back. She knows how to defend herself. Hello, Angela.
Could be the messenger, Mark the messenger. If you ever leave, okay, you can't change them. Okay, and now you can pray for them. Now, the only thing you can do to help these people who have the demons on them, right?
The only way you can help people with these demons on them. Okay. Oh, what happened, Angela? Tell me. Tell me everything. I want to know.
Just to pray for them, love them from a distance. Because these people, if you try to walk that narrow path, these demonic spirits, they're going to keep you backwards. And whenever you try to break a soul tie with a Jezebel, it's not going to be easy. Okay, you break a soul tie with a Jezebel, she could be popping up, texting you, knocking at your door. You block them on every social media. They somehow find, they make fake accounts, fake numbers. That's what you got to deal with. That's why the Bible says flee fornication. Don't be so quick to have sex with someone, God.
Oh, good. How'd the reading go?
Be patient. Wait on God. And pray if that person is of God. Because if you're a child of God, God will show you. God will show you. So
Yay. Nice. There we go. Now I love it. Honestly, I love it. And I can't even listen to any more of this twat because I'm about to blow my own head off. But yes, as for like the title of the video, yes, Jezebel is a very Lilithian individual who actually took a stand and defended what she believed in and everything. And well, hey, well, Angela, the good thing is that finally it's going in the right direction. Thank goodness. Yes. Oh man. I mean, I would be more animated, but I'm on live camera. And I don't want to be like too like, wow, okay, it's just an agreement, kid. No, 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 no. That's a big step in the right direction. Like a huge step. I mean, I could. I even go and get a bottle of champagne and open it up, but I don't have a bottle of champagne. Seriousness. What? What? Hang on.
What demon is the opposite of Azrael? I'm going to go find that out.
Hello, Z. I don't see. Good. Hmm. Speaking of Jade, this little roll thing's actually real Jade too. And hold that note. Actually, I found this one at Dollar General. And yeah, but I might have to end the stream here because I have a friend of mine that just messaged me and she needs my help. So I'll be back in a little bit. Promise. I'll be right back. Have an issue I need to take care of right now.